Put him on. Excuse me. Oh, hey. Copy and paste. Alright, so... Tokumon. Copy. Come on, we just need that last little bit to get Growlmon evolved. Copy and paste. The door should be unlocked. Let's head back and check. And nothing there. Okay. So close. Boom. There's our level up. Boom. Go to the underpass? Yes. Oh, look, it's a digital labyrinth. It seems you've managed to unlock the gate, so thanks for that. It must have been easy for you given your skill. What? There's a bit of a labyrinth in the underground tunnel? What do you mean by a bit? Is there any sign of a Digimon or an Eater in there? I see. It is strange to see just a small section of labyrinth. I know I said we couldn't know what we would find, but I wasn't expecting that. I believe we have witnessed a special digital wave occurrence. It's as if some kind of current. I see. This is definitely a ley line. Have you ever heard of ley lines before? There are many in Tokyo. They're also called dragon chains. Dragon signifies the undulating landscape, the hills and mountains. The chain is what we call the flow of the land's spirit. It's well known that Sosei Tenkai, advisor to Ieyasu Tokugawa, turned Edo into a great feng shui city. It's said that he built a waterway and path to lead the chi from Mount Fuji and Tokyo Bay to Edo Castle. Of particular note in this instance are Kaneji and Asakusa Shrine to the northeast, and Zojoji and Hiei Shrine to the southwest, all big religious institutions. In feng shui, those directions are thought to draw negative energy their way. Their shrines hold big festivals to purge and expel that energy. And if you look at the lines that connect Buddhist temples, Kaneji and Zojoji, and Shinto shrines, Asakusa and Hiei, you'll find that they cross right inside Old Edo Castle, home to today's Tokyo Imperial Palace. It's really quite fascinating to see. Nowadays, the waterways have been swapped out for rail lines and radio towers dot the northeast and southwest. You could say we've finished what Tenkai started. Viewed from the eyes of current society, those rail lines and radio towers are artificial ley lines that supplement the old roads and waterways. Naturally, where you're standing underground constitutes another ley line running through Tokyo too. Not just any either. The one that's believed to emanate from Mount Fuji is supposed to run right through here. The man-made tunnel layered on top of it allows the waves to keep flowing in perpetuity. It's really a peculiar thing going on down here. That's what's producing this quasi-labyrinth you're seeing before you. Knowing that, those weird voices that people are supposedly hearing probably belong to Digimon that are appearing as a result. I could go on for a while yet about this subject, but you at least somewhat get what I'm saying, right? I'll take that to mean you understood it well enough then. At this point, your work is essentially done, but we can't exactly just ignore this newfound discovery either. Why don't you go a little further in and check things out? Okay, that leads to a dead end. But we have an item on the other side of the gate. The tunnel just keeps on going, you say. If it stays on course like that, you're going to end up under Roppongai, which would mean... You know, this reminds me of something else I've heard about before. As I mentioned before, Tokyo's ley lines stem from Mount Fuji, which is of course not all that is a coincidence given that it's a sacred place. And that energy takes old highways like the Koshu Kaido and the Tokaido to get to Tokyo from Mount Fuji. That energy joins up with underground waterways going along the highways that carry Mount Fuji's snowmelt to Tokyo, flowing into the city together. One theory holds that the first place where that water appears above ground after reaching Tokyo happens to be where else but Nakano. Put simply, all the ley lines that flow throughout Tokyo could well be coming out of our own stomping grounds, believe it or not. Wouldn't that be amazing to think about if it turned out to be true? Stop right there. Don't go any farther. You're standing at the border of the municipality. Go any farther and you'll be in central government territory. That's a hive we'd best not poke. Color me intrigued, though. That's a hell of a thing to stumble into just walking around inside that tunnel. We aren't prepared just yet to pick that sort of fight. There's still too much we don't know. This little tangent of ours has gone on long enough, I think. Head back the way you came and regroup at the office. Though it's not as strong as we're used to, that tunnel is causing a digital shift. We should probably keep it locked up like before, after all. I have no idea how I'm going to explain all this to our client, No matter how you spin it, it'll probably all be a lot to take in. I wouldn't be surprised if we come away looking even sketchier than we already do. Let's let Detective Matayoshi deal with it. Some jobs are just best left to others. You're curious what exactly was actually beyond where you stopped? That makes two of us, believe me. Actually, while you were on your way back, I decided to look into it a little. Apparently what you found was a Kamishiro research lab of all things. Oh, don't be dense. I told you, that area is under the jurisdiction of the central government. That's not the sort of place you wander into for fun. If nothing else, it indicates that Kamashiro and the government have a tighter relationship than what we previously suspected. Going after Kamashiro could well mean that we'd also be ruffling the government's feathers. That's why we can't be hasty right now. We'll do what we can to prepare and cross that bridge when we come to it. This is just a guess on my end, but I imagine it was Kamashiro that changed the password on that door and rendered it impossible to get open. They probably weren't counting on us being able to actually break in and snoop around. Knowing that, it could well serve as our ace in the hole later when the time does come to confront them, hopefully unawares. But again, let's not worry about hashing out the details until we have to, and just be grateful we have that up our sleeve. On that note, I realize this case is technically closed, but what do you say about heading over to Roppongi for me one more time? I don't mean on official business, rather I'm keen on doing a little independent intelligence gathering for our own internal use. Surely you're interested in knowing why Kamishiro has built a research lab under the Tokyo Metro government building, right? How about you just walk on through the front door there and see what you can find? Sound good? Okay. Well, we're going to take a side to the digital lab. And we're going to get, hopefully, our entire ultimate team going. Yes. Aquilamon. Who do I want to go after? I know I can't go after him. Let's go for this one. I'm not sure what this is be, but we'll see. It is... Ooh, Garudamon. Okay. Alright, so after he levels up a little bit, I'm going to go back to Hawkmon and try to go after the other one. Growlmon, however, we're going to go to War Growlmon. There he is. Now, Daruga needs level 30 for any of his. Repamon, 26, 28, 30. And I think we're going to go for the 30 there. Andromon's got a ways to go. And I think... we're probably going to want that one. Oh, convert. Nope, we don't have anyone ready for convert there. Alright, Tokyo Metro Building. Oh, are you here for a tour of the lobby? Please, come on inside. You must be confused. Let me explain. Construction on this new building isn't entirely complete as of yet. Well, it was at one point, that is, until a major firm came in and it was decided the upper floors merited additional construction. As such, while that's going on, the lobby here remains free and open to the public to visit. Did you make it inside the building? Alright, I get you. So they're all right with you hanging around the lobby. Well, that makes our work a little easier then. Go on in. All you need at this point is a terminal somewhere so you can infiltrate their systems. Piece of cake is at this stage, I'd say. So once you find a terminal, just slip on in and work your magic like always. Wish I was there to see this myself. Seems like quite the sight. Reminds me of the Tower of Babel in a way. Guess I'm starting to ramble again, though. Don't worry about me. Feel free to get back to work now. There's a terminal in the back there. No items on the ground. Alright. Is something wrong out there? Oh, you found a terminal that's digital shifting a little. If this shift is weak while still prominent enough for you to notice it, it could be a sign this place will turn into a labyrinth later on. Well, for now, try connect jumping into it. We have no idea what could be inside there, so stay on your feet, alright? Bug recovery. Hey, Biomon. Now we've got it to 100%. Shadow Wing. Bye, Biomon. Level 29 for Darugamon. 6. Alright. Oh, yep, there's an eater. Yummy. Investigation gets a case of land. Sounds tough, but I'll give it a shot. Alright, let's move. Alright. Excuse me, Farm Island 1. Command. Let's do investigate. Alright. Now for the fun. Ouch. Atomic Blaster! Spiral Sword! Almost there. No, don't erode terminal. I hate when you do that. There we go. $29, $19. So you found an eater inside there after all. But you couldn't find any other evidence of note. You're not seeing the forest for the trees here. The fact that there was an eater inside the terminal at all is big evidence in and of itself. Regardless, let's call it a day here. Get on back to the office now. That was probably hard work going all over the place today, but thanks to you, I think I'm starting to piece it all together now. While you were out and about, I decided to measure the waves coming out of that building. And I found out that the government building itself is one big digital wave force field. From what I can tell, energy is flowing straight into the government building via the ley line inside Nakano Underpass. So that underground lab was beneath the building, is probably controlling the energy flow. You remember what I said about ley lines when you were inside the tunnel, don't you? There are two things at play here: the natural energy flow from the Earth along the ley lines, and digital waves emanating from a sea of electrons. If you can make a massive structure like the Tokyo Metro building a hub for those things, then you can manipulate their flow. Why do they need to do it that way? Well, for one, digital waves might be invisible to the naked eye, but they have mass and therefore require a vessel. And the bigger the vessel is that contains those waves, the more energy you can build up. It probably also explains the new construction going on, as more space would mean that much more energy they could stockpile. That extra energy would then go on to impact the building beyond the facility, hence the shift you ran into in the lobby. And with any good digital shift comes an eater, of course. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that place goes labyrinthine eventually. But we don't have to be concerned about that threat anymore now that you've cleaned the joint up. On the other hand, it's worrying in its own way that things resolve so cleanly this time. The fact that digital waves can be concentrated in such small quantities as to attract individual eaters and produce a micro-labyrinth is scary. If you hadn't been there, it might well not have been caught until much later. The whole thing doesn't sit well with me at all. This case has taught us that there is technology that can mostly suppress large amounts of digital waves as they're built up in place wherever. The deliberate and calculated nature of it all indicates that somebody's got big plans in the works, suffice it to say. This, of course, calls for more investigating. We need to figure out how long this has all been going on, and just what exactly it's for. Let's keep our eyes peeled as we move forward. We're on to something here, I know it. Turn it in. Rank up. Became almost Cyber Sleuth.